Beef tallow. Beef tallow is rendered animal fat, specifically from cows. It took over the internet as the ultimate biological cure for damaged skin, promising to be identical to our own natural oils. Once you scoop it out of the jar, the onset begins. It is thick, heavy, and carries a faint, primal scent. It melts immediately upon touching the warmth of your face. At the peak, your skin feels utterly indestructible. The barrier is sealed. The winter wind cannot touch you. It feels like returning to a simpler, purer time before synthetic chemicals existed. But the come down is brutal. Beef tallow is incredibly heavy and highly comedogenic for modern skin. Beneath that indestructible seal, your pores begin to suffocate. It traps dead skin cells, sweat, and heat. Weeks into the routine, deep, painful cystic acne begins to form along the jawline and cheeks. It is a trend that promises absolute natural purity, but often leaves your skin buried and drowning in grease. Snail mucin. Snail mucin is exactly what it sounds like, the excretion left behind by snails. Promoted heavily by K-beauty brands, it promises profound healing and the ultimate glass skin glow. Once you pump it into your hands, the onset is entirely textural. It is stringy, sticky, and stretches like webs between your fingers. You tap it into damp skin. At the peak, the hydration is unmatched. Redness instantly cools down. Your face looks like it is coated in a flawless, watery glaze. The hype feels completely justified. But there is a silent trap waiting in the come down. Snail mucin shares a highly specific protein structure with dust mites. If you're someone who sneezes in a dusty room, your immune system will recognize the snail mucin as a threat. Instead of glass skin, you wake up with microscopic hives, rough texture, and hundreds of tiny flesh-colored bumps that refuse to pop. It is a magical hydrating cure that secretly triggers an invisible allergic war on your face. Slugging. Slugging is the viral act of coating your entire face in pure petroleum, like Vaseline or Aquaphor, right before you go to sleep. It acts as an occlusive, meaning nothing gets in and nothing gets out. The onset feels claustrophobic. You apply a thick, greasy layer over your nighttime serums. Your face sticks to the pillowcase. At the peak, you wake up the next morning and wash it off to reveal skin that has not lost a single drop of water overnight. It is unbelievably plump, bouncy, and deeply repaired. But the come down is a matter of basic chemistry. Slugging locks in absolutely everything. If you apply Vaseline over a chemical exfoliant, a strong retinol, or even a hidden irritating fragrance, you multiply its strength tenfold. The petroleum traps the active ingredient against your cells, forcing them to absorb it continuously for 8 hours. You go to sleep expecting hydration and wake up with severe chemical burns and a ruined barrier. It seals the vault, but you have to be absolutely certain you did not lock a bomb inside. At-home dermaplaning. Dermaplaning involves taking a tiny, single-blade scalpel and scraping it across your dry face. It went viral for its ability to remove peach fuzz and dead skin in one sweeping motion. The onset is purely psychological. You hear the highly satisfying scraping sound. You watch a pile of gray fuzz and dull skin gather on the blade. At the peak, the canvas is totally flawless. Your makeup glides on like wet paint. Your face reflects light like a polished mirror. You look perfectly smooth. The come down hits a few days later. Using cheap, dull razors at home creates thousands of microscopic, invisible tears across your cheeks. Worse, if you accidentally nick a single clogged pore, the blade drags that acne bacteria across your entire face, burying it into those fresh microtears. A week later, a massive network of tiny whiteheads erupts everywhere the blade touched. It promises the ultimate clean canvas, but delivers a microscopic battlefield. Hydrocolloid patches. Hydrocolloid patches are tiny, moisture-absorbing stickers. They flooded social media in the shape of colorful stars and invisible dots. The onset is instant relief. You take a massive, painful, angry mountain on your chin and hide it beneath a cute sticker. At the peak, you peel it off the next morning to see a satisfying white mound of trapped fluid stuck to the patch. The pimple is completely flat. The crisis is averted. But the come down is hidden in the adhesive.
Most people rip the patch off aggressively, tearing away the newly formed, incredibly fragile roof of the skin right along with it. You expose raw tissue to the air. You trade a temporary 3-day bump for a dark purple scar of hyperpigmentation that takes 6 solid months to fade. It flattens the mountain perfectly, but leaves a dark, permanent crater behind. Derma rolling. Derma rolling is the process of dragging a wheel covered in hundreds of tiny needles across your face. It went viral for promising clinical level collagen production and the total erasure of acne scars right from your bathroom sink. The onset is sharp and uncomfortable. You press the needles into your skin, creating thousands of microscopic puncture wounds. Your face flushes bright red as blood rushes to the surface to heal the trauma. At the peak, your skincare serums sink in instantly. A few days later, the microswelling makes your face look incredibly plump. Fine lines temporarily vanish because your skin is physically inflamed. You feel like you have hacked the system and saved thousands of dollars. But the come down is a slow, silent infection. Clinical microneedling uses sterile needles that stamp perfectly straight into the skin. At home derma rollers use a wheel. As the wheel turns, the needles enter at an angle and exit at a different angle, slicing open jagged trenches across your cheeks. Because you cannot perfectly sterilize a plastic roller at home, you are pressing yesterday's bacteria directly into today's open wounds. You endure the pain, expecting flawless skin, but wake up weeks later with permanent track mark scarring and deep tissue damage. It promises to rebuild your face, but acts like a microscopic meat grinder. It is so easy to get caught up in the viral hype, but at the end of the day, it is your skin on the line. I started this channel to create an honest, cozy corner of the internet where we decode the actual science behind these trends without the confusing marketing. If this video helped you feel a little more confident about your routine today, I would be incredibly honored if you hit subscribe. Your support truly helps this new channel grow. Also, if you missed my breakdown on exactly what every skincare acid is doing to your face, make sure to check out that video right here. Tell me in the comments what we should decode next, and take care of your skin.